WWE talent shaken and angry over the latest releases. Plus, we've got an update on Fenix following that shocking AEW Dynamite injury. And future WWE plans for Walter have been revealed. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Still reeling from the releases this week, we start 2022 with yet more names let go from WWE. Mike Johnson of PW Insider was asked in a Q&A on the website what has been the reaction within WWE by those who aren't in danger of being fired. And Mike Johnson said the following: "I spoke to a few people who work within Titan Towers last night and this morning. Many of them are befuddled, to say the least. Some admitted are angry. Some pointed out that once again, it is not the company it was a few years ago. One even joked that it's Nick Khan's WWE, not Vince McMahon's company at this point, and wondered what happens if Khan ever does fall out of favour, given that the company has been so gutted under Khan's vision. And should his vision ever end, what happens next? And there would be some really awful growing pains in order to shift it to whatever the next gear might be. A lot of the long-time employees are gone, and a lot of people who have migrated over are Nick Khan Knights. No one I spoke to yesterday and today were happy. Many were sad. Many were frustrated. Some don't even know how to guess what might be next." So a really uncertain time in WWE to start 2022, Andrew.
It's got to be scary for a lot of people. I think a lot of maybe the people in NXT, the Black and Gold brands that were built up, people like Raquel Gonzalez and everything as well. You know, a lot of the people backstage there, Triple H and Shawn Michaels and everybody being very much behind her and everything. And now that they've taken a back seat, like what's going to happen with a lot of those? Tommaso Ciampa, we're not really sure what's going to happen with him either. Like, It sounds very uncertain. It sounds like perhaps Nick Khan has a very direct idea about where to go, but it sounds like things haven't really been communicated amongst employees and staff members. And uncertainty like that is not something that you want in your job, is it?
Not at all. And I think it's easy because we love this industry so much. It's so easy to take things like that very personally and very much to heart. Like the amount of comments every time there's this batch of releases, you'll see people, and rightly so, saying Nick Khan must have rocks in his head to release this person. They must be stupid to let this person go. And they don't see it like that. And I think that's something that we as fans have always struggled to get our heads around. The idea that somebody doesn't see what we love as a fun pastime, a wonderful bit of escapism. They see it as numbers and names on a sheet, and that's all they see it as. So they're running it like a business, and it's heartbreaking because someone like William Regal absolutely has got so much to offer that industry, the wrestling industry, wherever he goes, and you want him to offer it to WWE, but all a lot of people like your Nick Khans would see is a name. He's been here for a while. Is that how much we're paying him? Do we need him? Are we using him? No. It's very impersonal, and that makes it quite difficult for us to digest, I think, as fans a lot of the time. It's being run as a business. But I've been in that situation where I've been in a company which is sort of terraforming in front of your very eyes, and it is frightening. It is, and I had a very uneasy Christmas in this one job because of it, and I ended up being let go from it like months later, but it's almost like it's coming, and I completely sympathize with people who are feeling shaken and angry by everything that's going on at the moment. It's a real rough time right now. Some brighter news on the AEW side of things. We have an update, don't we, Andrew, on Fenix?
We do, yeah. So an update provided by the Instagram of Republic of Lucha, which is a wrestling merchandise store owned by Fenix and Penta. It reads, "Thank you for the many messages. At Ray Fenix is recovering. There is no fracture. This was fortunately only a dislocation and is now in place. This will only require a few weeks rest to fully recover. Animo." And exciting. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that it wasn't a break. The way it bent, the way it looked, made it look like a break. Arms aren't supposed to move that way, Tom. And I think a lot of us feared the worst. But thankfully, yeah, this update, only a fracture. No fracture. Sorry, a dislocation. And for it to be set back, only going to take a few weeks to hopefully heal. That is fantastic news, because I think there's a lot more to be had between the Lucha Brothers and Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Many more good matches to come.
Fenix also posted to his social accounts as well, saying that he's going to spend the next few weeks recovering. He sends his love to people who reached out, and says that nobody is to blame, nobody is at fault for what happened. I know that Luchasaurus got quite a lot of aggressive messages afterwards, but Fenix, the guy who it happened to, has gone, this is wrestling, this is the business, it happens, nobody's at fault. So I'm pretty sure we can put the bats down at this particular occasion, and we send nothing but love to Fenix. Excited to see him get back in the ring very, very soon. Looking ahead to tonight's episode of Rampage, AEW put out a tweet saying, as well as the matches that have been announced for tonight, there's going to be an announced change to the medical protocol for Saturday's AEW Battle of the Belts card. So they haven't specified what match is changing tomorrow night, but there is some changes happening. I mean, we could speculate, because Cody and Sammy Guevara weren't on Dynamite, were they? They were.
I don't think so.
There was a video package about their match. Whether that's out, I don't know, but we'll find out tonight on Rampage what changes are being made to Battle of the Belts. I'm looking forward to Battle of the Belts. What about you?
Yeah, I really like it. AEW always put on really, really good just like special shows and things like that. And I mean, the caliber of wrestling these last few weeks on both Dynamite and Rampage have been phenomenal. And this is only going to ramp up a little bit more with it being a special show. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. Yeah.
We know, well, from what we know right now, we know that Britt Baker is facing Riho with the AEW Women's Championship on the line. We know that Cody Rhodes is set to face Sammy Guevara as well for the AEW TNT Championship. But, of course, when we know more about the card, you'll know more. Watch Rampage tonight, you'll know everything. Andrew Zarian announcing WWE are heading back to Saudi Arabia. He tweeted, hearing that WWE is planning on returning to Saudi Arabia on Saturday, February the 19th, just after Valentine's Day, the most romantic day of the year. No ideas on card or anything like that. Just worth putting it back out there. They did say, actually, when they put out that calendar of events for 2022, there was speculation that a Saudi Arabia show would be slotted in February, Omicron variant being considered, and it looks like, despite all that, it's going ahead.
Yes, it does. And yeah, there's some fun matches sometimes. Sometimes things are inconsequential there. Who knows? We'll see what happens there.
We will certainly see what happens. Finally, I know this is one that you are excited about, Andrew, to talk about. As it is all about one of your boys.
It's about the boy. It's about the big, beefy boy himself, Walter. So officially announced on this week's NXT UK is that Walter will now be moving to NXT 2.0 with the rest of Imperium. Walter will have his last stand on NXT UK TV next week with a farewell match against Nathan Fraser. So,
as the resident NXT UK boy, how do you see that going down? Are they going to put Nathan Fraser over Walter on his way out?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That would be.
I can imagine.
I can imagine that. To be fair, I'm excited and trepidatious at the same time. I think, obviously, I wouldn't have thought Walter would fit into the picture of NXT 2.0 almost. I thought they'd want to sort of steer clear of people who have already sort of made their name in the wrestling industry. And I would have thought Walter would have gone back to and just stayed at NXT UK perhaps. But this isn't the case. I am excited to see what happens. A Walter and Bron Breakker, big beefy boy bash or whatever would be quite fun to see. Yeah, what about yourself? I'm looking forward to it, and I'm trepidatious at the same time.
I hadn't even thought about Walter versus Bron Breakker. That's very intriguing. Yeah, I mean, they've wanted Walter in America for years. And they finally got him over there to do stuff with Imperium. There was some speculation as to whether or not Ginny would go with him. I know they've started dating recently, and I think Ginny as a mouthpiece for Walter would be quite an intriguing proposition, certainly on the main roster, if not for NXT 2.0. I do believe that if Walter can survive the acid test that is a call-up, then I think that it'll be a flying visit to NXT 2.0 and then potentially some dominance on Raw or SmackDown by the end of the year. But I say that with optimism.
Yeah.
With that candle of optimism, like the one in the windowsill Il Encanto. Like, I hope it stays lit, because otherwise I lose my powers. More news throughout the day at cultaholic.com until we're back together again. Keys.
Love you, bye.